That is awful. Wait, the actor actually got burned? Generic intro in the Dark Ghost movie. We're back with some more kill count. Today we're back to the very beginning with Friday the 13th. Today we're doing a new beginning, Jason Lives, and The New Blood. We're doing those three because together they're a little over 30 minutes combined. Last week's video, I jumped to Nemesis Blue, which came out like a month or so ago, but I reacted to the original back when it came out like in April or something like that. But thank you so much for the support you've shown all these kill count videos so far. You can check out my reactions to the Nemesis Blue kill count. I'll leave it right up there. Also, the link down below in the description, and will probably be in a playlist on my channel because this is my new series. Every single Saturday at 3:30 p.m. there should be a new kill count episode coming up by Dead Meat, and we should be going in order. I just wasn't sure if people wanted me to do the recounts first or go back into the originals first, but we're just gonna go through all of them. Maybe skip the recounts, maybe do the recounts, maybe skip ones that I don't want to have spoilers for. That's what I'm getting from reading the comments. I do read every single one of your comments, at least some down below. I've read over 50,000 comments this year so far, according to the YouTube recap, which is absolutely insane. I've also made like 870 videos. I do it all myself, so shout out to patrons because they get the videos there early. A lot of time I pay on the channel. Let's go ahead and jump into a new beginning. All right, back to the beginning. Also, hope you're having a wonderful day. Dragon Ball Z Bridge episode 60 part 1 with Kirby should drop an hour.
I'm James A. Janice, and today
an hour before this, actually. This comes out at 4:30. I'm streaming Undertale at 5.
Installment of our beloved Friday the 13th series. That's right, the last body from the final chapter wasn't even cold before Paramount decided to cash in on some more Jason.
Dude, they made so much money
back from its proclaimed end. Problem was, they definitely killed Jason in the fourth one. Like,
hopefully nothing has to be blurred.
You're not supposed to come back from that. So they decided to try a new direction with this one. Not in terms of content, really. It's still naked teenagers getting brutally murdered. But
that's a sentence. Naked teenagers getting brutally murdered.
Really should have learned from the third Halloween movie that you just don't mess with a horror series like that. But perhaps correctly anticipating a backlash from the lack of Jason, they definitely upped the body count nudity in this one.
Do they get backlash for these?
And get down to the kills.
The kills. Yeah, the difference between how Nemesis Blue was in this.
Stupid hats dig up old Worm Eyes. That's my new nickname.
Why? Worm Eyes? Ugh.
He thanks them with his machete. First he impales Neil in the stomach. No, his name is never said in the movie, but the internet knows all. Then Jason stabs Les right in the neck with a screwdriver. Why do you have a screwdriver? Who the fuck knows? Watching from the woods is
why was he buried?
And Jason actually looks pretty damn creepy as he stalks towards Tommy, who screams and then wakes up and is a hot guy. That's right, those first two kills were just a dream, but on this series I'll probably count imaginary kills. Or maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't matter, guys.
They're shown in the movie.
Don't leave comments yelling at me. But yeah, Tommy's grown up to be.
They're gonna leave comments yelling at him.
He's headed to a farm for the mentally ill. What's wrong with the people there? I can't really tell, except one dude has a stutter, I guess. But that guy also makes
mentally ill has a stutter.
You don't set a place for a dead person.
Good call, guy. The farm's run by Matthew Letter, who totally has a romance with the sheriff, and his assistant Pam Roberts, a pretty lady who gets creeped on by Billy the van driver.
Anytime, dog.
It's the mustache. It's the mustache. Why?
Porno mags on the job because literally everyone in these movies, especially this one, is driven entirely by sex. Tommy meets reckless Reggie, whose dialogue consists entirely of things old white guys imagine black kids say on the street.
Man, you are one scared cat. Jump, man. Oh, got a split.
Good God.
And we meet all the other eventual victims, including hillbilly neighbors, Reggie's grandpa George, and all the insane asylum kids who just happen to all be attractive teenagers. All except Joey, I guess, a guy who loves chocolate even at the expense of sheets. Joey also gets surprised axed in the fucking back by this dude Vic. Vic
Why?
Take Jason too. Shit
wait,
that
so
guy.
what?
Instead, he gets pissed at Joey for being annoying and chops both his chocolate bar and his spine in half, giving us the third kill of the film. This gets Vic arrested,
why?
disappointing those
is it because he's insane?
Versus Jason finale. That would be awesome. Joey's body is tended to by a couple of paramedics. One's your average asshole from these movies.
Bunch of pussies.
The other is Roy Burns, who acts totally normal and not suspicious at all as he stares into a fade out. We then meet perhaps the most inconsequential characters I've ever seen in these films. A pair of greasers having car trouble. Look, I don't know why they're there other than to die, but they definitely do that. Vinny gets a road
covered in
flare
grease
in the
and
mouth
working on
while he's
cars.
fixing the car, showing everyone that people can make decent jack-o'-lanterns too. Save a pumpkin, use a greaser. Then Pete comes back.
That is
into the
awful.
woods with bunnies
It's
to
a
give
bunny.
an extended improv scene in the car.
Come on now. Come on, everybody. Same starting. Come on, motherfucker. Fix the fucking car. Come on. Fucked up again, you asshole.
Pure poetry. He then gets his throat slit with a machete. It's a shame, really. I think that guy had a wildly successful freestyle career ahead of him.
I don't think he did.
The cops find their bodies.
Also, he would not die instantly like that.
Not saying anything suspicious at all.
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, no, you should definitely rip this off.
You talking to me, Sheriff? Huh? Oh, I thought you was talking to me.
Smooth. Next, we find out just how hot Tommy is. I wasn't lying. And that he can also bust a fool if need be.
Holy
God,
crap.
That man had a family. A check in here, a check in there, and now we're meeting this chick at the diner who's introduced just in time for some real gratuitous nudity.
Oh,
She's getting
why?
picked up by that pervy driver
Dude,
guy
it's
who
the
must
mustache.
be
Stop
really
it.
funny or something. And he dies when the killer, who's totally not Roy Burns, slams an axe into a cantaloupe painted like his head. That's supposed to be his head. I see. Sorry. Guess that
At
wasn't
least
his
they're
head,
not
guys.
killing
Lana, the
snakes
waitress, gets
that
one
weren't
last
planning to
bump
be
in
killed.
before getting an axe to the stomach about 40 minutes into the film. You'd think someone would live a little longer after an axe to the gut, but according to these movies, it's downright humane
well, I mean,
how
they
fast
also-
people die from it.
yeah,
At this
especially
point,
from the
buckle
throat
up, because
getting
it is
slit.
time to start killing all those characters we met in the first act. First, there's that really dirty dude who had just one scene
That-
before with Ethel. He ends up in
Jordan
the woods
Mormont?
creeping on naked teens, then turns around and gets stabbed in the stomach with a
No,
knife.
it's
Along
not.
with the greasers, this guy has to be one of the most tangential characters ever. He's just there to be a statistic. Then, of course, there's the naked teens he was spying on, and they're like,
Why are they
really
naked in the
naked.
woods?
The girl Tina just has these
No,
really
no, no,
long
no, no,
voyeuristic
no,
shots
no.
of her lying there naked.
No,
by
no,
herself. It's only a little
no.
sleazy until you find out that director Danny Steinman started his career making porn. Then it's
That
really sleazy.
does
At
make
the school,
sense.
Though, the killer stabs her in the face with some garden shears and then slams him shut. It's done off screen. but
Oh,
you
in
see
the
it right
eyes?
afterward when Eddie finds her body. That is one gruesome sight.
That is
Get it?
awful.
Gruesome sight. She doesn't have eyes anymore.
That's gonna be
Funny.
the golden
Her paramour,
chainsaw.
Eddie, who inexplicably had to go wash up in the middle of forest sex,
Here, go wash up.
Okay, sugar.
comes back to find her dead and gets his head crushed by a belt and a stick. Definitely one of the most unique.
Oh,
kills in the series,
ooh,
and downright
that reminds me of-
painful, too. Memorable
Oh,
all
I saw
around.
an execution
Reggie,
style
Pam,
like
and
that
Tommy
before.
take the truck to go see Reggie's brother Demon, so there can be another
His
character.
name is
Oh,
Demon?
look, he has a girlfriend. I didn't know there was a 2-for-1 deal going on.
And they're
After
smoking
Reggie
the
leaves, Demon gets hit by
lettuce.
some enchiladas.
Some damn enchiladas.
Never had an
Runs to the
enchilada.
outhouse. He and his girl Nita sing a romantic poopin' duet.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Hey, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Which is a really romantic twist on all the pooping going on in these movies. Nevertheless, they wind up dead. Demon finds
course.
Nita with her throat slit and her pulse oddly active for a dead person. Just look at it go.
Yeah?
Pulsing away.
That's
Then
actually
Demon
kinda crazy they're
himself
showing
gets
that.
impaled with a spike through the siding of the outhouse and takes a good
I don't know
long
why
while
you would
relishing in his
be
death
next
scene.
to the
Hey,
wall.
It's your big moment, Demon. Might as well milk it for all it's worth.
Bro's name is
Meanwhile,
literally
the angry
Demon.
redneck neighbors are all riled up because Tommy raged out and beat up Junior. Not only with some solid punches, but also a fucking leg drop. Look at that.
Why would you do
Junior
that?
rides his dirt bike around a frustratingly small loop several times in anger before getting decapitated by a cleaver. I won't say that's the best fake head ever made, but I will say it's better than Paul's exploding head in part 3.
It definitely
Good
was.
job, A New Beginning. You cleared a very low bar. Then Ethel gets a cleaver
Hey,
in the
improvement
face
is
through the
better
window, causing
than
her in
going the
turn to
opposite
kill the
way, you
tomato
know?
she's holding. Reminds me of the banana
Poor
snuff
tomatoes,
murder
didn't
in the
deserve it.
final chapter. These guys love to kill their produce. Oh, and people. People like Ethel. Hell of a character. I'm sure she'll make a hell of a stew. Now we're an hour into the movie, and Jake, the stuttering guy, gathers up his courage and comes on to Redhead Robin.
And he's gonna die for
I
it.
wanna make love with you.
She
Whoa,
responds
he's
him
straight
in
to the
way
point.
Every guy loves to hear.
The worst thing she can say is no.
He wanders upstairs in rejection and then gets a cleaver to the face. We later
Honestly,
see his
might have
body
been
when
asking
Robin
for it.
discovers it in her bed. Guess who wound up there anyway, right, Jake? But he's dead, so it doesn't count. Robin herself is the next to go, but only after getting naked and wandering around topless, because again, sleazy porn director.
Yeah, of
She's
course.
killed with the by now very familiar stab
Through the-
bottom of
yeah,
bed
through the
sheet.
bed.
This marks
Okay,
the
well.
third time they've done this kill in just 5 movies, and none have matched the awesomeness of the original with Kevin Bacon.
True,
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was a
there's also this
like
alternative
it
chick,
didn't. The
Violet,
prop didn't
who's
work
actually
right.
a really sweet breakdancer, and we know this because we watch her dance for an uncomfortably long time.
Okay,
gets
she
killed
looks
when
like a
she's slammed up against
crackhead
the wall
in
and stabbed
Vegas.
in the gut with a machete. I'm noticing that despite the high body count, a lot of the action occurs off-screen or in lame-looking close-ups. Kind of a bummer. From here, we arrive at the final girl circuit. Running the course this time, ladies and gentlemen.
It's Pam.
That's right, Pam Roberts. Let's see how she does.
Sure.
when she's
Bro
up
just
against a
walked
fake
through
Jason
the door.
Voorhees. Pam
Dude, you
checks
coulda
all
just
the boxes.
opened
She
it.
makes sure the young kid is safe.
Wow,
Runs
why
around in
not
the rain
wait?
in a white shirt.
to
She
get him
finds
up?
bodies of all the victims. Thing
Uh-huh.
is, usually those bodies are of people we've already seen killed. But this time they use the opportunity to add new corpses to the count. First, she finds
Oh.
that douchey paramedic with his
Dead.
throat slit. You'll be forgiven if you didn't recognize him. Dude was barely in the movie.
Let me guess, the
and
other
finding
paramedic
body here really
is
has
not
no
dead.
impact. I mean, aside from giving us this wonderful scream from Reggie. Then she nearly
Fair.
runs into Matthew Letter, who's been pinned to the tree with a knife through his head.
That's
just
a
got
railroad
knife
spike.
now. Way to lean in.
Is it a
Finally, she
railroad
has a
spike or is it a
corkscrew
knife?
letter
It
through
kinda
the
looks like a
window,
knife.
Final girl circuit staple and sees that it's Reggie's grandpa George. Looks like he's
Oh.
missing his eyeballs. What you doing with those eyeballs, Roy? Collecting
Bro
eyeballs for
saw
some reason?
the Ark
That's
of the
weird.
Covenant.
Pam's circuit comes to a head, as many of these do, in a barn. Not a very original finish, Pam, but there is something to be said for being traditional. She fights Jason with a chainsaw, which is pretty freaking
Okay,
sweet. And
chainsaw,
Reggie
okay,
screams
dingy.
from the rafters until Tommy shows up to save the day. How's he do? Not great, Bob. He gets his ass kicked way faster than you'd expect. Remember this guy? What happened to him? Instead,
Yeah,
he's
no.
down and out, leaving Reggie and Pam to fight the killer on their own. Reggie does a flying tackle that knocks the killer out of the barn window.
Jason.
And before he can take them down with him, Tommy resurfaces and cuts off his arm with a machete.
Jason
the
can,
Jason
like,
wannabe
is
then
he-
falls
he's, like,
down onto
super
some farm
cute.
spikes, which is their technical name, and his mask
What
peels
are
off,
farm
revealing
spikes?
that he's... Holy shit.
Wait, what?
It's Roy Burns?
Holy crap,
No
what?
way. Wow, what a totally unexpected yet satisfying twist to this movie.
I knew something was
The
special
wrap-up
about him.
comes from Matthew Letter's bro, the sheriff, explaining everything to Pam. Apparently, Roy was Joey's dad and snapped when he saw his son's body. He then modeled his kills after Jason because... Well, because really, they needed another Friday the 13th movie. Speaking of which, this one
after
ends
the
with
last
yet
one
another
dying.
fake death when Pam goes to check on Tommy in his hospital bed. He roids out and pulls a machete out of nowhere and sticks her in the gut with it, making Pam the
yes.
final kill in this movie. Only not really,
Because it's
this
a
is
dream.
Friday film, so we should have known this was all just a stupid fucking dream. Tommy
It
wakes up
happens
from it and
every
sees a
time.
vision of Jason in his hospital room.
Oh.
The real Jason, not Roy Burns. Notice the
What-
red marks on the mask. Then it gets all creepy, and the movie ends with him maybe
Let me guess, he's the
actually
next
killing
one.
Pam, or maybe he was just gonna fix her some lunch. Whatever. This thing's
It
finally
doesn't
over.
show it.
Let's do the numbers on this sleazy, dirty, nasty film.
Golden Chainsaw is definitely going to be...
There were 22
The-
deaths in
the
Friday
head
13th: A New
clippers.
Beginning, although not all were from the Jason imitator Roy Burns. 2 were from Jason himself in a dream sequence, 1 was from Scary Vic, and Dream Pam was killed by Dreamy Tommy. Gender
Dream
breakdown is
Dreamy
15
Tommy.
guys, 7 girls, much more imbalanced than the previous 4 films.
Yeah, usually
With
they're
a
a lot
runtime
more
of 90
balanced.
minutes, that's a kill every 4 minutes on average. Damn.
That's kinda
The Golden
crazy.
Chainsaw for coolest kill is
It's
gonna
gonna
go
be-
to Eddie. I still feel
Really?
like it could be a little bit more gory, like all the kills in this movie, but it still feels really painful watching Roy Burns twist that stick around and tighten that
I
belt.
think-
Just ignore the fact that he twists around 2 different directions. It's
Oh,
hard.
yeah.
Don't worry.
There was-
Lamest kill was a little more tough. I'm gonna give it to Violet because look at that stab. That is seriously a pillow they're stabbing right there.
Yeah,
Tom
literally.
Savini is rolling in the grave he made from scratch and sleeps in every night. And that's Friday the
He
13th:
made
A
from
New
scratch.
Beginning, released in 1985 to an audience very upset that the killer they spent all that time watching was just some asshole named Roy Burns.
Yeah.
In part 6, they made it clear that Mr. Voorhees would return.
next
and
one.
We'll look at that next week. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count.
Nice.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching Kill Count.
Like I said,
Friday the 13th,
every
New
single
Beginning.
Saturday
I
at
know
4:30
most
p.m.
people
these
hate it,
videos
but
will be
I
coming
kind of
out.
appreciate
Dragon Ball Z
how
Bridge of
just
Kirby dropped at
downright
3:30.
nasty it is.
Undertale
Wonderful,
starts at
definitely
5 p.m. on Twitch.
And honestly,
30 minutes after the
it has
video goes
some things
live.
going for it. It's got Ethel. Everyone loves her. And as
Do
creepy
we?
as he is, I like this Tommy Jarvis. Really,
Wow.
I want to know what you think.
The Twitter logo
Comment,
is now
let me know
X,
anything
and
you
the
want.
Instagram logo is
I'll
no
see you guys
longer
next
that.
week.
Now we have the next one, which is part 6.
Welcome to
Jason
Kill Count, where
Lives.
We tally up the victims
Don't
of
know
all
where
our
he's
favorite
been this
horror
entire
movies
time.
Named Friday the 13th. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, released
There's
1 year
so many
after
of
A New
these.
Beginning.
One
disappointed fans
year.
everywhere.
Wait, people
Jason
were
Lives is
disappointed
an
by that?
interesting
Probably.
Entry, not only as the conclusion to what you could and should call the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, but because it marks a tonal shift in the series. Again, don't expect it to stray from the masked guy kills teens at a summer camp 1x1 template too much, but writer
You know,
director
they're
Tom
all the
McLaughlin
same.
sought to play around more within this framework, and the result is a much more self-effacing, ironic, and humorous.
Why do
film
people
in
like
parts
these?
1 through 5. Also, obviously, Jason is back. A series
Oh, he
centered
does
around
not look
Roy
pretty.
Burns will remain one of history's biggest what-ifs, but the people spoke, and they clamored for Jason. So here we have Tommy Jarvis, played by a new guy, who's not as hunky, but who's much more of a functional human being. He and his wisecracking buddy resurrect Jason with lightning, like he's Jason Stein's monster or something, and for the rest of the movie and the series,
Oh, worm
Jason
face.
is now a supernatural being. He will never again be the lumbering, mentally
Oh, so he's no
defective
longer
with a
human.
pillowcase on his
Great,
head.
now he's
a new
superhuman.
and arguably more iconic being now. Jason is dead. Long live Jason. Anyway, I hear dying
He's
is
dead.
starving for killing, and Jason's got quite the appetite.
Does he
Let's
kill the
get down
people
to
that
kills.
revived him? Or are they friends? I don't
First
know.
up is obviously Tommy's Toady Hawes, who didn't even want to be there in the first place. Melty's skull Jason punches right through his body, ripping his heart out.
Sounds
through
about
his
right.
back
Yep,
and revealing
yep.
some nails in serious need of a manicure. Don't be afraid of self-care, Jason. Tommy escapes the scene, and we get a huge clue into the tone of this movie with the fucking Bond parody intro to the credits.
Oh.
Post-credits picks
I've
up
never
the
seen a
story
James
right
Bond
away with
movie.
Tommy running to a police station and greeting Sheriff Garris, a very charming guy.
The kid with the
Don't
mustache.
piss me off, Junior, or I will repaint this office with your brain.
Tommy winds up in
What
a cell
kind of
for
threat
sounding
is that?
Crazy with all his Jason.
You might be safer in
Now
the
it's someone
cell.
else we know.
They didn't believe me.
Now we do, Ralph. Then we meet a couple on their way to
still
the
don't.
newly renamed Forest Green Lake, and you know they gonna die. In
Forest
a line
Green.
predictive of Scream a decade later, the woman Elizabeth is aware of the rules of horror movies.
I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Wait, they
But that
think
doesn't stop
Jason
husband
is
Darren from
friendly?
Getting out of the car like a dummy.
What
Jason
is that
takes a
gun?
bullet like a pro and spears Darren through the chest before tossing him behind his back like a rag doll. I'd love to
Okay,
see yuppie
why
spear
would
toss
he-
as an official Olympic event. Elizabeth tries to bribe Jason, which
With
is definitely
money?
at first, but he kind of teleports away and reappears behind her, drowning her in a puddle with his spear. Fun fact,
Okay, like
Elizabeth
Gohan.
was played by Nancy McLaughlin, the director's wife. Even more fun
Oh.
is the fact that her credit card floating away
The
says
Amex.
American Excess. Cheesy pun or biting cultural
What is that, supposed to be an old
Jason
green
kills.
card?
You decide.
How long has a green
Finally,
card
meet
been
our core
around?
Group of camp
The
counselors.
American Express green
They're
card.
Super 80s and led by the vulgar sheriff's spunky daughter Megan, who takes an immediate liking to Tommy. And
Why?
this new Tommy actually reacts like a human being. Remember New Beginning, TJ?
Yeah, that's a little something.
Yeah, that guy probably would have tried to strangle her between those prison bars. We also meet Martin the Gravedigger, who I'm guessing is Crazy Ralph's cousin or something.
Probably.
He actually one-ups Elizabeth's self-aware line by speaking to the fucking audience.
Wait, he breaks the fourth wall?
Folks have a strange idea entertainment.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how meta
why do
this
people
movie
watch
is.
these?
It breaks the fourth wall.
I don't know.
Martin is also involved in
Like,
a good editing joke.
It's not like it's a
He think
special
I'm a
story.
farthead.
Is it supposed to be funny?
That's what I mean about the tone of this movie being different. And also note, there are actually kids at the camp. That's a first too. Then we get one of those scenes with random characters who are just there to die. It's like the Greasers in
Jason
Car
just used a
Trouble or
gun?
the biker gang in part 3. It's almost like a sketch or vignette that exists only to increase the body count. This time it's a group of corporate execs on a paintball retreat, which sounds like a much better
Oh.
company outing than a picnic or a barbecue. Everyone involved is kind of a wacky character, but whatever.
Those
Jason's gonna
goggles
kill them
are
all
not
immediately.
covering much.
First up is Bert, an angry fella who doesn't do a great job masking his misogyny.
Dumb broad.
Wait,
Stay in the kitchen.
I'm sorry, he has a machete for paintball? Also no goggles.
Jason whips him into a tree face first so hard he leaves an imprint. And listen,
That's pretty
I know
brutal.
a lot of people love this, but the bloody smiley face he leaves in the tree trunk, it's just too hokey for me. It confused
You
me
don't
as a
like
kid
that?
because it was so unrealistic, and it confuses me as an adult because, like, why? But
I
like
don't,
said,
maybe somebody else
people
carved it
fucking
in
love
there?
this thing, so here,
Maybe it was
here's
already,
the
oh, it
one
wasn't
time.
there.
Stupid. Meanwhile, the sole woman on this expedition, Katie, is being a badass and taking out Stan and Larry, two guys
How?
who may be a little bit more than just co-workers.
You become this whole other person when we're out here, Stan. I don't like it.
She makes them wear some pretty meta headbands before Jason drops in and takes them all out at once.
What, did he climb a tree?
Decapitation. This was one of the kills censored a lot by the MPAA. Early versions apparently had the heads falling into frame. Shame we missed out on that. The
Oh.
sequence ends with Roy, the final paintballer and
It's a good thing they didn't try to shoot him with paintballs.
running away with Jason hot on his trail. Don't worry, we'll catch up.
Bro's like
In another change of tone
full
in the
line.
series, we
He's
get kind of
walking
an
so
action
fast,
scene
but
as
just
Tommy
like
continues trying to convince law enforcement that he's not crazy. He doesn't succeed, and instead learns how much of a douchebag Deputy Rick is.
Wherever the red dot goes, you bang.
Yeah, Rick, you gonna try and make your own catchphrase? You banged? Okay. While the camp counselors like Court try to entertain their campers, Gravedigger Martin gets drunk and delivers ironic lines.
I think it means always
You're
drunk.
gonna be the death of me.
It's ironic because Jason stabs him with a broken liquor bottle. Get
Oh,
it?
no!
Like it actually was.
Who's gonna be the
death
Gravedigger
It's not
now?
bad. It's a pretty good joke. Jason makes sure he's dead by hacking him up a bit more, and then looks super fucking scary when he stops and notices Steven, some fool
Oh.
who was out picnicking with his fiancee Annette in the middle of the goddamn night.
Next
Jason
to a
eventually
graveyard.
chases them both down and double impales them with his machete.
Collateral.
for a twofer. These two deaths in Martin's were added after feedback from early screenings saying there weren't enough kills. So thanks,
Oh.
test audiences. The
So they
movie
just
gives us
added
a
those
breather
in
with a
just to
little
help
bit
the
of
kill
standard
count?
camp
Okay.
stuff. A little girl says
Wait,
she
so they had
saw
a screen and they're
Jason
like, oh, we
in
want
grade.
more
Counselors
death.
make reference to Jason the Legend using a card game. And then we're in a Winnebago where Court and some girl
I think
named
it's a
Nikki
bouncing.
had PG-13 sex to 80s hair metal.
They
Another fun
are
fact
not
for you,
big
this is
enough to
actually
make
the only
nothing
Friday the
bounce like
13th
that.
film without any nudity. Although now that I say it, it doesn't sound very fun. No nudity, but there is a lot of hair metal in this movie. 3 Alice Cooper songs. 3 of them, including one that had a
Alice
music video
Cooper,
heavily
which is-
featuring Jason. The 80s were weird,
See,
man.
from
Court's lady
Kiss?
lover Nikki is killed while he's driving obliviously, having a good time. Jason slams a piece through the trailer's tin walls in a much better version.
That's
of
so
the short film that
cartoony.
everyone loves. Because look at that. It makes sense.
That is
alright?
so
Jason then takes care
cartoony.
of Court with a knife through the head.
While driving.
I like to think that he stabbed him in
Ugh.
the ear as a favor, so he wouldn't have to listen anymore.
Okay, that might be the knife
Court
from
dead at
before,
the
because it
wheel
kind of looks
needed
like a
another
rover
action
spike.
sequence.
Why?
Like I
The-
said, this movie's a little different.
the
Had
budget
to
must be
humor
higher.
80s action movie tropes. Here we have a sweet vehicle flip and Jason looking like a badass on top of a
That's
burning
pretty
RV.
cool.
This awesome shot was the last thing they filmed for the movie, and I think it's
Really?
pretty damn cool. The cops find that paintballer guy's body, or at least parts of it, so now we get to add Roy to the body count, pushing the kills to an even baker's dozen. It's It's the best way to order your victims. While the cops suspect Tommy for this gruesome murder because he's crazy or whatever, Jason finally gets to the camp.
Wasn't he
and
locked
although he
up?
seems a little confused by both the name change and the moral.
He's like, what did they name?
Ready to
They
be as
changed the
friendly
name. I hate
sportsmanlike
this.
as he can be. Which for him means yanking Counselor Sissy out of her window and twisting her head around. Gotta give this movie credit.
Oh, like an
Despite
owl.
The ratings board trying to censor it, it was always trying to come up with fun, inventive ways to kill people.
The ratings
Megan
board.
picks
What
up
is it?
Tommy
Not
and in
R-rated?
Another high-energy car chase to another Alice Cooper song.
That's
Tries
Camaro.
to avoid the cops while Tommy stares at her crotch. They eventually get caught by her father, and Tommy's put back in the jail cell. While at Camp Forest Green, Jason stalks
What?
Paula, the last remaining fodder counselor, and eventually kills her after they do what I presume to
See,
be some
now
kind
it wouldn't
of art
matter if you have a
project
gun.
involving buckets of red paint. Tommy and Megan
Art
craft a
project.
sexy plan to get him out of jail, and they lock up Deputy Dipshit.
Bro, why are you
who
holding him at
gives
gunpoint all the
worst
time?
Single-line performance in the series.
Oh.
Megan.
They then race back to camp as Jason
Megan.
leans in to kill that cute little scared girl. But don't worry, he's obviously not going to kill a kid.
Oh, Jason's
They're
not gonna
have
kill a
Jason
kid?
guys. The
He's
cops
gonna
get to
kill the
camp
kid.
and find Jason's abstract art project. Then the handsome one gets killed when Jason throws a freaking knife into his face,
Nice.
knocking him into a boat. You see that
Aw, in
knife
the
toss,
boat.
man? I bet Jason is a great hustler at Renaissance fairs. Another
sure.
cop tries to calm the little girl before Jason pops up out of nowhere and crushes the guy's skull. Another kill highly censored, although the sound design is pretty nice.
Ah.
Papa Sheriff then tells the kids to hide, and they prove that they're just as snarky as everyone else in this movie.
What do you think?
I think we're dead meat.
Oh, hey!
He said dead
He said
meat.
me. That's me. Sheriff Garris finds the
That's
body of
funny.
Officer Expendable, then has a
Ugh.
badass standoff with Jason before
With a
shooting
shotgun.
him a whole bunch of times.
That does
Like,
nothing.
A lot. This movie is the first time Jason's been shot, and he shows that it is not an effective way
No,
to take him
it's
down.
not this
Despite the
form.
sheriff's
Old
confidence,
form,
he
maybe.
meets his end like any sexed up teen in the woods when Jason chases him down and cracks his spine in half, folding him over like a plastic picnic table.
I need someone to
Sheriff
do that
Garris
to
is
my
actually
back.
the first character in this series whose death made me kind of sad. I wanted to see this guy live. He was smart and a good dad and wicked funny.
All the grief you've given me, you should be leaving wearing your
How
balls
much
as
is that?
earrings.
Rest in peace, Sheriff. The rest of the movie is Tommy and Megan hatching his master plan to kill Jason by calling him mean names.
Hey, asshole! Come on, maggot head. Come on, chicken shit. Come on, I'm
How deep is this lake?
Come on, you
Is bro just
Just
walking
kidding.
in the
His
lake?
plan is to return Jason to the bottom of the lake by
How?
chaining a boulder onto him. Also, he lights Crystal Lake on fire like it's Lake Erie in the 80s. Despite also getting lit on fire, Jason fights back for a bit before the boulder drags him down. After almost drowning Tommy too, Megan saves the day by introducing Jason's head to a boat motor, cracking his neck and giving us some nice gory flotsam to show Jason's finally dead. Just kidding.
Oh, he's
His eyes
not
open
dead.
at the end because producers like money. More Alice
He's
Cooper
just-
plays us out to the credits, and there
Oh.
you have it. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason lives. Let's do those numbers.
That was something. That's one.
Jason
Really?
kills 18 people in Friday
Chaining
the
to a
13th
boulder
Part
was
6,
crazy,
twice
and then the
number of
boat
his
motor?
initial outing in Part 2, so guys come a long way. His Vicks include 12 guys and 6 girls, a gender imbalance of 2 to 1,
Well,
which kind of goes along with the
women
whole
do live
80s
longer than
action
men.
style of the film. At 85 minutes long, that comes out to a kill every 4.72 minutes, so that should keep
So
you
fast.
entertained as you search in vain for TNA. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw Award
Oh.
for coolest kill
I
to
was like,
Sissy,
damn. Oh.
mostly because I'm a huge Exorcist fan. Anyone see the show on Fox? I
No.
like that show. It
Never
wasn't
seen the
bad.
movie either.
And I'll just go ahead and piss everyone off by giving the lamest kill to Bert. Okay, I can't really because I do like the moment when they show Jason still has his arm. I just
Yeah, that
hate
is
damn
funny.
Smiley face. Real lamest kill
Why
goes
was
to
it there?
Paula, who's killed mostly off screen, although I've got to admit that none of the kills here were completely devoid of coolness. Like, that's a lot of blood.
And on the
That's
popcorn?
it, y'all. With this movie finished, we are now halfway through this series. Holy crap.
Good God.
Friday the 13th
They're
Part
getting a little
6,
bit longer.
Jason Lives, which many fans consider their favorite because of its humor.
Oh, that's the next one we're doing. Let's go.
1986, written and directed by Tom McLaughlin, who does deserve some credit for doing something interesting with the material. Next up will be Carrie vs. Jason in Part 7, The New
Carrie
Blood,
versus
which is also the
Jason.
introduction of Kane Hodder as Jason.
Who?
But until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Hey guys, thanks a lot for watching
Okay.
The Kill Count for Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason
This-
Lives, most everyone's favorite movie in the series. Is it my favorite?
How many
I don't
are in
know.
the
Some of
series?
jokes don't really do it.
I've
for
never
me.
seen a
I'll
Friday
talk
the
to you
13th
with the
movie
final
ever. I
chapter,
just
and
watched
y'all gonna
one
hate me
Scream
because of
movie this
Jason
past
X. I
Halloween.
really like Jason X. But tell me if this is your favorite. I'm sure it is in the comments below. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel, guys.
You
Really
definitely
cool.
should.
Thanks a lot.
And you
See
sub
next
my
week.
channel. We're approaching 100,000 subscribers. I uploaded 870 videos as of now, and there's
Welcome
still
to The
like
Kill
2
Count,
weeks
where we
left in
tally
the
up
year.
victims in all our
Actually,
favorite
3 weeks
horror
left in the year.
I'm James A. Janice, and
I do it on myself,
we're looking at
which
Friday
is
the 13th,
insanity.
Part 7, The New Blood.
Oh,
released in
and I've also read
1988 and often
50,000
referred to as
comments
Jason
this
versus
year.
Carrie. After Part 6 introduced a few sci-fi elements into the series and turned Jason from a simple-minded would-be drowning victim into an unstoppable zombie, producers continued down that road for Part 7.
I like Jason as
now
a
looks more
zombie.
beast than man, all twisted and evil, and the main chick he's up against can use her mind to throw things around and straight up start fires. Also, have noticed that this is the first film featuring Kane Hodder as Jason. Kane's an amazing stuntman whose name has become synonymous with Jason Voorhees.
I've never heard of him before.
Films. His physicality and willingness to have the crap beaten out of him definitely adds another level to the
Sorry, did he actually
catch a light lamp to the face?
Affair.
The group of teenage victims is entirely forgettable and stereotypical.
Yep.
And while it has a fair amount of nudity, the MPAA toned down its gore so much that it's one of the least bloody films in the series. Plenty of people still die in it though, so let's get to the kills.
God.
First death comes after a recap narrated by Crazy
Oh,
Ralph,
they're like, let's explain why he has the power.
This time with worse music. After witnessing some
like
boilerplate domestic abuse,
metal trash can downstairs.
Tina kills her dad with her mind by collapsing the dock he's standing on, sending him to the
That
bottom
kills
of
him?
Crystal Lake, infringing on Jason's favorite hang spot. That lake just isn't big enough for 2 rotting corpses, Tina. You should have been more considerate.
Oh,
10
yeah.
years later, Tina is heading back to the scene of the accident with her mother and therapist, Dr. Cruz.
Bad news, Cruz.
He's trying to help her with some mental issues she has involving telekinesis and, you know, probably
It's like a Stephen King movie.
Mama, I miss him so much.
You miss
Should've
your dad
thought
that you
before
killed?
killed him, Tina.
Yeah.
In the unreasonably close house next door, there's a group of attractive teens just ready to get nice and murdered. The main guy is Nick, a wholesome hot guy, and he's getting eyed by Melissa, a bitchy hot rich chick. There's also a stoner, a sci-fi geek, representations for both sides of the Madonna horror complex, and a token black
Madonna
girl.
what?
They're all there to throw a surprise party for Nick's cousin Michael. Unfortunately for them, Michael's car messes up on the way to the lake, and despite being a wealth of wisdom,
Jane, woods is woods.
he's not long for this world. See, earlier
No.
Tina got all emo and went out to the lake to cry. She tried using her ambiguous mental powers to bring her dad back to life.
She's gonna
but
bring
instead
Jason.
just resurrected Jason. So now Jason's out in the woods and he creeps up on Michael's Lady Jane about 20 minutes into
It's
the
like
film.
every
He kills her
single
with a
time they
tent
have to
spike
bring him
in the
back,
of her
they think it's
head.
just some
All we get to
crazy
see is
way.
a close up on her face looking like she's falling asleep. Oh, sweet Jane. Michael returns from peeing to find her body nailed to a tree
Nice.
and runs through the woods in vain until Jason throws the same tent spike into his back like he's playing
Oof.
darts at the bar.
What, a
Michael
tent
tries to
spike?
crawl away, but Jason stalks after him to get his tent
Dude,
spike back.
tent
Never know how
spikes
windy it'll get when you're camping
bend
in the
when you
woods.
do
Back at the
anything.
cabin, Tina learns what stereotype means when she goes next door to meet all the teens. Despite Melissa's upstanding bitchiness, Tina does an alright job fitting in. Until
Her
she
hair
starts
reminds me of a
having
dog.
mental images of Jason killing Michael in the kitchen. Meanwhile, Jason kills some actual people in the real world when he comes across 2 campers. Dan, the dude, goes to fetch some firewood and gets a fist through his back and his
Should've done
neck
that when
straight
there
up
was
snapped.
daytime,
I love the
but-
shot of Jason pulling his fist out of Dan's back. Even better, now Jason has a machete to play around with. Thanks, Dan. Dan's such a good guy.
Yeah,
Jason
dude,
heads
he
back to
dropped
the tent
loot.
and rips his way through to grab Dan's girlfriend, Judy. He drags her out of the tent, wrapped up snug as a bug in her sleeping bag, then kills her.
I mean,
with
you have
one
no
force and
option.
Smack against
Oh!
the tree. This is a fan favorite kill that will get echoed in both Jason
That's
X and the
great.
2013 remake. And Kane Hodder has also said it's his favorite, so there you go.
That
Tina
has
gets
to be the
closer
Golden
Nick
Chainsaw,
and
then.
More angry at Dr. Cruz, and the teens continue to be teens.
Mountain
with all
Dew.
the drinking and the drugs.
Columbian Express is pulling out. All aboard.
Columbian
They
Express.
stereotype
I'm
it
sorry,
out well into
what
the night
drugs
when
were
Russell and
they
Sandra
doing?
head out for some skinny dipping. Before anyone can tell Russell how stupid that outfit looks, Jason kills him by golf swinging an axe right into his face. He cuts
Oh.
away right as it happens, so we only get some gore when Sandra sees his body from the water. Bummer, that could have been a real nice death.
No
Sandra
shoes
is
on.
understandably freaked out and gets even more scared when Jason seemingly teleports underwater.
I was about to say,
from
do you
behind
get in the
her, grabbing her
water,
and
or
pulling
do
her
you
down
stay in the
to his
water,
hang
or do
zone.
you
I mean, once you invite one
get
guy
out?
down there, might as well invite everyone, right?
Yeah, that's
Especially
true.
naked chicks. Tina's mom finds out the doctor is recording and exploiting Tina and her powers while the
For
doctor
what?
finds Michael's body. But then during their confrontation, he doesn't even bring that interesting fact up to her. Instead, he drives Tina away when she overhears him say he's gonna commit her. Tina goes for a midnight
Commit?
drive, but after seeing some
She killed
crazy
her father.
hallucinations of Jason killing her mom, drives off the road and crashes her car. Looked pretty serious, but she's not too concussed to get out and run blindly through the woods.
No
Back at
airbags.
Teen City, Teen City, Maddie tries to do a classic nerdy girl makeover so she can get Stoner Guy's dick instead of Robin. That whore. But then she can't see without her glasses, so she gets
Okay,
lost
Velma.
wandering out into the woods. Jason offers her directions, but she runs away from him and into a
Oh,
nearby
he's just
bar.
trying to offer
He stomps
help.
her down, busting through some wood to grab her from behind and swing a hook into her stomach. It's a totally
Ugh.
off-screen murder, so there's nothing for me to show right here, except maybe her body that gets shown later with a totally out-of-place throat slit instead of a gut wound. Ben and Kate,
Yeah,
the
okay.
scene black couple, are resolving their vague relationship conflict with some make-up sex in a van, until Jason shows up and plays contraceptive by crushing Ben's head. 100% success rate, folks. I just love
Yeah,
the way he
that
grabs
is-
his head here. But it is another kill that would have benefited from the original gory idea that apparently involved a fake head full of cream cheese. Kate,
Cream
who
cheese.
definitely
I've
should
never
have
had
heard
cream
that
cheese,
happening out
actually.
there, is the next one dead when Jason shoves a party horn into her eye. It makes a fun noise.
A
So that's
party
great, but
horn?
again, it cuts
Oh.
away immediately. Luckily, we see it again later. But it's still a shame how much the MPAA restricted this film. David, the stoner guy, gets hungry after having sex with Robin and heads to the refrigerator, but before he can make that ham sandwich, Jason stabs him in the gut with a butcher knife. Sucks he didn't get to fulfill his munchies, but
I'm sorry,
at
did
least
he
got
open the
high
refrigerator
sex,
with no
right?
power?
I mean, there are worse last things to do. Eddie,
That's
the
fair.
sci-fi writer dude, strikes out with Melissa and covers it real smooth.
I got a date with the soap on a rope.
But his dingy tighty whities can't protect him when Jason sticks him in the neck with his machete. Yet another kill that cuts away instantly. This one really amuses me though, because in slow motion, it's clear the actor is raising his head to make his neck a clean target. Just trust Kane, dude. He'll put the machete where it needs to go. Robin, wondering where that ham sandwich is, puts on some clothes and wanders around upstairs before finding David's head, which I guess Jason propped up and put on display for her. Then he busts into the room and chokes.
How does he know what's going on with them? Like, how do they know that who's friends with who?
Not quite as awesome as when he did it in the final chapter with that Doublemint twin. Mostly because there's no exploding car for Robin to land
Don't explain that
on,
one
but
to
it
me.
gets the job done all the same. Throughout all this, Tina and Nick have been on their own little adventure, learning about Jason and being best friends, while Tina's mom and Dr. Cruz are looking for Tina in the woods. Jason finds them because I guess he likes going back and forth a lot and chases them down. Dr. Cruz gets the first kill assist in the series when he holds Tina's mom still.
I'm sorry,
Jason to
what?
stab her through the back with a spear. Real nice guy, just the spitting image of
Bro got an
shit.
assist
Hope
in
you
a
didn't get too
Friday
much
the
of that
13th
woman's
movie?
blood on your face. Back at the party cabin, Nick finds Eddie's body, dead, and Melissa, alive, after Tina runs back into the woods and finds Dr. Cruz. Holy crap, there's a lot of running in the woods in this one.
Why is he still alive? Did Jason just be like, oh,
mom, and Jason hunts him down with a weed
you're bait.
whacker, knocking him down. And
Why do you
putting
have
an
a
end to
weed
Bad News
whacker?
Cruz once and for all. Fun fact, this is the only time in the series that Jason uses a motorized weapon. For such a big dude, he's got a real small carbon footprint. Tina finds her mom's body in the woods and then a bunch of other bodies and more of the woods before finally coming face to face with Jason. She uses her psychic powers to square off against him, and it finally makes the movie interesting, since we've never really seen Jason against someone who's truly a match for him. And she really is a match for him. That's one of the best things about this installment.
Psychic versus fighting type?
Jason. You'll see what I mean in a second. Tina meets back up with Nick and Melissa, and because you just can't keep a good Voorhees down, Jason comes back and kills Melissa with an axe to the head before chucking her body across the room. He throws her
Easily.
like a fucking rag doll, and the stunt person for that just did amazing. The last
Yeah,
10
no,
minutes are
literally.
mostly Tina beating the crap out of Jason with her mind, and this is what I was talking about before. Everything is on the table with Kane Hodder behind the mask. Home Alone traps, crushing him with roofs, some pretty sick head oozing, flinging a bunch of nails into his body and face, electrocuting him, telekinetically headbutting him with David's decapitated head, even hanging him from the ceiling and dropping him into the basement. It's fun to watch, mostly because of how gross they've made him. The highlight of it all is when Tina lights Jason on fire in a 40-second stunt that set a record for longest uncontrolled burn. Kane Hodder kept working through the stunt even when something went wrong with it that resulted in burn scars on his neck and chest.
The actor actually got burned?
Kane Hodder difference. Then Tina's house explodes, as houses are wont to do, and you think it's all good until Jason shows up out of nowhere again, looking
still alive.
even more gnarly and just totally over with getting shot like that, Nick.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna do anything.
Jason turns his attention back to Tina, but before he can kill her, she uses her mental powers to summon her dad from his watery grave.
I'm sorry, his father's
Jason
alive.
in a bear hug and pull him underwater.
How?
What? Wait,
Because he's
this
a zombie?
guy who looks like a pirate movie extra? This
He
might
does.
be the stupidest scene in Friday the 13th history. At least until these paramedics fucking carry the stretcher instead of using it. With that rescue and a heartbreaking shot of Jason's mask broken in half. No, we are done with Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Let's do the numbers.
Okay. That's so weird.
16
Why?
people die in The New Blood. Tina's dad and Jason's 15 victims. And the gender distribution was split equally, with 8 guys and 8 girls. At 85 minutes long, that comes out to a kill about every 5
These
minutes.
movies are short.
I'll give the golden chainsaw to the funnest death, Kate's party horn through the eye trail.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Like I said, it cut
party
away
horn.
from it pretty fast, but seeing her later for an extended close-up almost makes up for that. Lamest kill has to be Maddie. At least with the other deaths, you can go
Especially
frame
when
by
it's
frame
wrong.
and see some sort of contact.
Nothing.
Maddie's murder happens entirely off-screen, and that's just no fun in a cheap slasher flick. And that's
True.
it. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, was released in 1988 and began the Kane Hodder era of Friday films. Next up will be one of the weirdest Friday the 13th.
That'll
Part
be
8,
the
Jason
next
Takes
week's
Manhattan,
video, I
a
guess.
film that was finally bad enough to put the series to rest for a short period of time.
Oh, Jason
Can't wait to
Takes
get to it.
Manhattan.
Until
That's
then,
gonna be
I'm James
something.
H. and this has been the Kill Count.
Lord,
Thanks a lot for watching
this
the Kill
is
Count for Friday the 13th
something.
Part 7, The New Blood. I have such mixed feelings about this movie because on the one hand, Kane Hodder as Jason is great and
Yeah,
the
but
telekinesis
a lot-
stuff is kind of cool. But on the other hand,
But,
it's
like, her
just
father
more
coming
of
back?
teens in the woods, and the teens suck and the kills kind of suck. What do you guys think of the movie? And what do
I
you guys think of this series?
6.9 million
Yes,
views.
indeed. Make sure to
Nice.
subscribe. See you next week in Manhattan.
Manhattan. Oh god. I guess that'll be next week's video. Next Saturday's video, 4:30 p.m. Patrons get a day early. $3 a month get you all my reaction videos a day early. I read all your comments whether you're a patron or not, whether you're subscribed or not. But I really hope that you are subscribed. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about the Friday 13th movies. I did not know that there were this many of them. Let alone like that they were coming out with them every single year, and how like Jason got the hockey mask and how he became like, you know, a zombie with like superhuman powers and stuff like that. Really, really interesting nonetheless. I love watching kill counts. We're gonna be doing these for quite a while, so every single Saturday at 4:30. This is the new Saturday series. Gonna try to go in order, I believe. Now that I know what to do, we're gonna do the old one and also do the I guess the recounts, but skipping maybe a few here or there if they're a movie I don't want to have spoiled or something like that. I do eventually want to have a movie reaction channel, but between you know, 870 videos so far this year and reading 50,000 comments, all doing it myself, I don't have time to handle a movie reaction channel right now. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully made your day a tiny little better. But until next video, take care and cue the music.